Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me get my bearings here. Make sure that we're live. Let me know if you are here. I want you to put a 1 in the chat. If you are here, let me see. Did that start? There we go. I think we are live. Let me know if you can hear me. Throw a 1 in the chat. I'm kind of doing this like a little impromptu live stream. Got a little bit of time on this great Friday afternoon. So this is kind of like a lunch stream type of thing. Check it out. Check it out. If you can hear me, and if you're here, please put a 1 in the chat. If you are there, throw a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I think my audio was good. I think so, at least. But I would like some feedback from you all from the chat. Okay, John, welcome, John. I'm seeing you on the stream on YouTube, but not from StreamYards. Okay, John, I see you. Okay, thanks, John. Thanks for coming through. Wayne Wallace is in Mexico, man. Welcome, all the way from Mexico, man. I used to go down there a little bit. When I used to work for an automotive company here in Detroit, Michigan, and I used to work as a wire harness design engineer. And I would travel down there to make they have all types of automotive manufacturing plants down there. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, good day from Atlanta. Absolutely, yeah. Everybody say where they're from. You might as well. I think that's a good check-in. But yeah, thanks for coming through and checking out the live stream. Just doing like a little impromptu Friday stream. Trying to get it going, trying to get more into the swing of doing live streams and really kind of getting you all more and more content, kind of just on cybersecurity and kind of just in the life in the day of somebody that's a cybersecurity professional and just really wanting to get the information out to you and connecting with you as an audience. So thank you for coming through. Who else is out there? Throw something in the chat. Throw a hello or something in the chat if you are there, because we have I wouldn't say an action-packed stream, but some really interesting things. Some things I do kind of just on like a daily basis and whatnot. So welcome. How do I want to start this thing out? So I know I got a couple of things that I had put down as topics, but we can go pretty much anywhere that you all might want to go. What's up, Justin? Welcome. What's up, Justin Williams? Justin Williams. Where do I know you from? Do we know each other personally? Because your name sounds very familiar. But welcome to the chat. Nonetheless, whether we do or we don't, welcome to the chat. So I have a couple of things on the discussion for discussion up for today. So one thing is Shodan. Another thing is Flipper Zero. For those who don't know what Shodan is, it's kind of like the hackers Google, right? So it's something that we use a lot of times in order to find internet connected devices. And it's a website, it's an application. Actually, I can go through and do a little overview with you on that to start off with. But then I also want to talk about Flipper Zero. This is a tool. It's kind of like a little hacking tool that people can use for security assessments, all types of different things. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of an unboxing for you and kind of going through the process of what it's like to kind of set one of these up. And we're going to look at a couple of videos on YouTube of what people are actually doing with them. Some good things, some bad things, but we can take a look at it. So I might just set it up because I think I have to download the firmware initially in order to really get started with it, because it goes through a couple of different prompts. I had two of these. They come in two different versions. They come in white, they come in black, and I got the black one. I got the white one too, but I gave it to a coworker because I don't need two necessarily. So I wanted to gift a coworker with that. Let me see what else. And I'm going to just open it up for discussion. If you guys have any questions, any burning questions about cybersecurity or the field in general, anything that you might want to ask somebody who's a professional in the field, then I am open to having that discussion. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start and play the live stream. I got a little live stream video that I produced, and here we go. So thank you all for coming through to the Struggle Security YouTube channel, where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. Today I'm doing a live stream where we're going over a couple of different subjects, things like Shodan, things like the Flipper Zero device. I was telling everyone before we had started that I want to go ahead and kind of start it up and see what the installation instructions and everything is for it. And then we can just kind of open it up for discussion about anything cybersecurity related or any burning questions you have about the field or just tech as a whole. So let's go ahead and jump into it, and we'll start off with Shodan. Let me go ahead and pull up what Shodan actually looks like and what it is and what Shodan says about itself. So I'm going to go ahead and share that screen with you. And where is my Shodan? Where is my Shodan? It's somewhere up here. And oh, it's under the Explorer. I see the icon. Here it is. It was actually the first one. Boom, right? Okay, so this is Shodan, right? It's nothing that kind of just jumps out to you in your eyes. Okay, you're welcome, Daniel, from New Mexico. You're welcome. It's nothing that particularly jumps out to you. It's nothing that's like super duper amazing from just the user interface. But let's go into what Shodan says about itself. So Shodan, does it have an about? Does it have an about? Not really. Does not have an about. But like I said before, it's kind of like the hackers Google, right? It shows all types of internet connected devices, things that you might want to do a security assessment against. Things that I've used it for is that there's been times where there's been customers who are saying, hey, we want you to come into our environment. We give you permission to find all of the vulnerabilities or the vulnerabilities that you can find from our internet connected resources. So whether they have like a public website or they have devices that talk to the internet or over the internet, they want us to do a full sweep of what those devices are and if there are any vulnerabilities associated with them, and if they even have the ability to be hacked or exploited. I'm seeing a couple of other people coming in here. Game Over says, salute, welcome, Game Over. And John says, with all these data breaches happening recently with PayPal, T-Mobile, and others, what new protocols or processes do you think the industry will start to implement to protect consumers' data better? I do have an idea about that, so we can take a quick aside to talk about that one before we jump back into Shodan. I don't think that there have been so many more. Well, let's say this. There have been more hacks for larger organizations over the years that we've been hearing about. But over the years, I think another thing that has happened is that there has been more news or more press about when organizations have been hacked or organizations have been compromised. So that's one thing, right? Because previously, organizations would keep a lot of what would happen quiet. They didn't tell you when they were hacked. They didn't tell you when the customer information. But now, because of laws and all different types of things like cybersecurity insurance, these things are required to be broadcasted publicly. I don't remember the exact laws that have been put into place, but organizations have a greater responsibility for reporting when their customers have been hacked. And just overall, the proliferation of technology and digital technologies, it requires that organizations really are telling people that when their systems have been hacked. Another thing is that what happens is that it's not always disclosed the exact, things that have been hacked. It might say PayPal has been hacked or T-Mobile has been hacked, but it doesn't tell you what the bad guys have done. Were they able to do data exfiltration? Were they taking credentials, taking sensitive information from the organization? What area within the network were they able to get into? Was it just the business resources or was it actual customer information? Sometimes I even saw a hack where they said that the Apple iCloud was hacked, where it really wasn't hacked. But what actually had happened is that it was that they had found usernames and passwords of popular people. They were able to access their accounts. They weren't able to access the whole Apple iCloud system. They didn't have full control. So those are a couple of things. One, like I mentioned, is that organizations are becoming more responsible or need to be more responsible with reporting that they've been hacked. Two is that we don't really understand the full length, the breadth, and the depth of what that hack was. And three, we never know what really happens until everything is put out there. So when you ask the question, do you think industries have started to implement more protections for customers? Yeah, I do think so. I mean, from doing a lot of security assessments, organizations are investing in cybersecurity services. They're actually hiring more and more cybersecurity professionals within their organizations rather than just using consultants or using contractors for short-term work. And when you say protocols and processes, yeah, they're looking at increasing their detection mechanisms for some of the most popular hacks out there. So that's kind of what I have to say about that. Did that make sense, or do you have any additional questions about that? If you have follow-up questions, feel free to throw it in there, John. But I think that's a great question to ask. Let me get back to this as it concerns Shodan. So I want to show you a couple of things, because Shodan is something that is very query dependent. So as you see within the user interface, you kind of get in there, and then it's not really straightforward as to, hey, how do you use this? So typically what I do is that I go to the Explore section. And I started to look at, so you can start to look into different categories of devices that might be internet connected on Shodan. Whether it's industrial control systems, things like oil and gas plants, electrical utility organizations, maybe nuclear plants. And this is worldwide. This isn't just there right in the United States, but even databases, things that might hold email accounts or different credentials and all types of information, network infrastructure, switches, routers, firewalls. It shows the devices, those type of devices, or even cloud instances, as it's showing here. It shows if those devices are connected to the internet, where you'll see a lot of, EC2 or buckets, a lot of AWS infrastructure. You'll see a lot of that here, or even video games. Sometimes as it has Minecraft, a picture of Minecraft here, you'll see a lot of those type of devices touching the internet, and they will be accessible in visual through Shodan. I'm getting some more questions here. Daniel was throwing up here, says, to me, it seems as though many companies are just not able to secure their environments, and I wonder if they should be allowed to even hold this data anymore. That's a very good assessment. Many companies, a lot of times, so traditionally, here, let me go back, because that's a very, very good question. Let's give it a little bit more attention. Traditionally, organizations have kind of looked at security. They haven't looked at security as a necessity within their organizations. They've looked at security as a nice to have, or almost like an insurance type of thing, or just in case something bad happens, I'm going to have maybe a security guy around that'll be able to address it. Where now that's almost become a necessity for organizations. Organizations need to have internal security staffing. They need to have things like incident response retainers for the event that something bad happens, or if they get hacked. If they don't have the internal resources to address it, these retainers bring in security professionals in order to address those type of incidents. Cybersecurity insurance is another one. It's a whole discussion about organizations getting cybersecurity insurance. So cybersecurity is becoming more and more of a necessity as things are more and more connected to the internet. And that kind of draws us back to this whole thing with Shodan. More of our organization's digital infrastructure are being put on the internet. I mean, when you look at the adoption of cloud with Azure, with AWS, with GCP or Google Cloud, these are internet connected services. So where previously many organizations would have something called like a data center, or they would have on-prem or on-premises assets. They would have large server racks or large computer systems where nothing will be touching the internet. They can have all of their internal systems, where now many resources are moving to the cloud and moving to the internet. And that requires more security to be in mind. And it also gives bad guys more access to those systems. So yeah, a lot of them are not able to secure their environments, and a lot of times they should not hold that data anymore if they are not prudent to protecting it, right? If they're not bringing in the resources, if they're not hiring people, if they're not training up their staff in order to really address the latest and greatest threats in this world. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Daniel. John, yeah, happy I can answer your question, Will. Yeah, and throw more questions. Throw more questions like John's and Daniel's. Thank you so much for putting those questions and comments there. Those really help to kind of answer questions, maybe for people who might not even be asking them or might just be listening. So thank you so much. Appreciate that. Be friend with Ben. Yeah, thanks for coming through, Ben, from Phoenix, Arizona, in the house. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you for coming through. Free Zone Lou says salute to Gabe Bay in the chat. Thank you for coming through, Free Zone Lou. Thank you for coming. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat, just like John and Daniel did. And we can do like a little bit of an aside as we're going through some of this stuff with Shodan. And again, just trying to do more of these kind of live streams to be able to connect with you all and be able to have some of these discussions here. Okay, let's go back to Shodan. Hopefully I'm not distracting you all from what we've been talking about. But so a couple of things that we can see here with Shodan, the type of systems that might be internet connected, that's showing here. But I also want to show you a GitHub repository because it's all query based. It's all queries. What are these queries, right? Let me show you that. Let me stop sharing that one, and then let me share this other one. So queries allows you to really search the internet or search things based upon certain inputs that you have. So just like Google, if you put in the right information, you can query Google for certain types of information. And the same with Shodan. Like I said, this is the Google for hackers or internet connected devices. So this is a cool little GitHub account that shows here. I'm going to throw that in the chat. I'm going to put Shodan queries for GitHub. And for those who are interested in kind of accessing Shodan yourself, you can get a free account or you can get a paid account. And I don't think it's that expensive at all. I think it's like $15-$16. Here, let me see the pricing. Or we can go back over that once we go back to the Shodan interface. But right now we're looking at some queries. So it says here on the GitHub account, it says, over time, I've collected an assortment of interesting, funny, and depressing search queries for the plugin into Shodan to literal internet search engine. Some return facepalm-inducing results, right? While others return serious and or ancient vulnerabilities in the wild. So they kind of made like an entire type of repository of Shodan queries where you can just pretty much copy and paste these queries into the Shodan interface, and that will give you some pretty interesting results. And I'll show you how to kind of filter down into what some of these results are. And then even let me give a warning, right? These queries and the things that you find on Shodan, there are limits, right? You shouldn't go trying to brute force attack or try to put in usernames and passwords for login portals that you might find on Shodan. You shouldn't try to interact with any of the devices. You shouldn't try to hack anything that you might find here. This is primarily and only for security research purposes to kind of show, hey, there are a lot of internet connected devices out there, even home devices like smart refrigerators or smart thermostats. Many of these things are very accessible over the internet. So I do want to give that disclaimer that this is not for malicious purposes, but only for research and education. Let's go back into it. So these are some of the queries here. So as you can see, you can assume that these queries only return unsecure open instances when possible for your own legal. All right. For your own legal benefit. Do not attempt to log in, right? Because logging in can be something that is illegal. Right? This is an illegal action if you're trying to log into accounts and websites that you don't have access to. And it says even with default passwords, if they aren't. So narrow down the results by adding filters like country. So this is a way to filter on some of those results there in Shodan. Org, right? So you might be searching for something for Harvard University, or host name would be nasa.gov, or a website like a nasa.gov or google.com or a chatgpt.io or something, or AI to the end. Okay. The world and its devices are quickly becoming more connected through the shiny new Internet of Things. They got a little thing, Internet of Things, and exponentially more dangerous, as it says here, as a result. to that end, I hope this list spreads awareness and, quite frankly, pants wetting fear. Pant wetting fear rather than harm. As always, discover and disclose responsibly. So they kind of go into some of the breakdown of some of the different types of devices that you can find here. You can find things, some things that are pretty well easily recorded are things like cameras, right? Yeah, welcome B2B. Welcome Before the Billions. Thanks you for coming through. We're talking about Shodan, pretty much the Google for internet connected devices, where a lot of security researchers and consultants and professionals use this in order to try to find, hey, what devices are connected to the internet and maybe what vulnerabilities are associated with them. Right now, we're going over a couple of the queries that you can put into Shodan in order to show us, hey, what type of devices can we find? So these are some versions of webcams, this yaw cams. So this will be the query that you would put into Shodan. Webcam XP. I don't know. I've never heard of this before, but it looks like it webcam 7 or webcam XP. And this is what is shown over the internet. This is what you can see there over the internet. This might be small. I might need to zoom in just a tad bit more for you all's viewing pleasure. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Okay. They even have Android IP webcam servers, right? So you'll put in this as a descriptor. And this 200 OK is associated with the HTTP designation for your ability to access that web resource. And HTTP has all these different like numbers, 200, or a lot of times you might see things like 404, which means that you can't access the 301, like a redirect or something. So you can see a lot of things, even printers and copiers, right? Things that are accessible over the internet. That's very interesting. I actually did a talks last year about hacking printers within different environments, within industrial environments. So it looks like you can put in a query in order to find printers as well. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Be Friends with Ben says, I'm new to cybersecurity. I didn't know about Shodan. He said, wow, man, you ain't lying. Pant wetting about covers it. Listen, we're just scratching the surface right now. So let's go back to, and I think there's something that's very easily seen is like some of these webcams. And again, if it has a login terminal, you should not log into those. But right now, I'm just going to take this, copy and paste it. I'm going to try it out first before I show it to everybody on the thing. But let me see what this is. I'm taking this one, the one that I just showed you, the yaw cam. And I am searching that within Shodan right now. And I'm seeing what comes up here. It's taking a minute. Okay. We have several in the United States. I'm seeing that 200. Okay. Yeah, let's go over to that. Let's go over. But let's talk to some people in the chat real quick. Hello. Akin Yemi. Can I call you Yemi? I think that's a Nigerian name there. So Yemi, if that's okay, let me know if it's okay if I can call you Yemi, because I know that you're here all of the time. So thank you for coming through. Like Yemi says, please hit the like button. And Wire Dog is here too. It says it's been a while. Welcome back. Thank you for coming through. And you say, yeah, that's cool. Thank you for coming through, Yemi. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and go to what that search query actually yielded us. And there were several that had came up. And like I mentioned before, all you have to do here is take that. Here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. All you have to do was take that search query that I found within GitHub. This is the yaw cam, the Mimi type, and the text in HTML, and it returns several different results. But let's break it down here. So the first thing that we are seeing is the total number of results, where you're seeing this number at 645. And it gives you a breakdown of countries where it is as well. So you're seeing the United States, it has the majority of those. So 252 instances of internet connected webcams that go by the name of this yaw cam. So this is probably some type of manufacturer of sorts. This is in 48 is in Canada, Germany, United Kingdom, and then they give the ports that are also associated with that yaw cam device. And these ports look like all web ports or some type of derivation of web ports here. 8888, 8081, 8080, 8082, 8083. So these are all kind of those derivations of web ports. But we see several here, right? So this one is in the Netherlands. And then what's nice about Shodan is that it actually gives like a little bit of a screenshot of what actually comes up for some of these devices. So again, as we see here, I'm going to zoom in even more because it can be a little bit difficult to see with the small interface. So like I mentioned, it's coming from the Netherlands. This is the public IP address, this 141.224 thing. The YAWCAM, this is what comes up. This is what is searched. So as you see what's associated with that, the YAWCAM that's found in the server and the Mimi type, that text.html is showing that this is what it yielded in those particular results. This text type HTML. It's also in the title, the HTTP title information. So when you look at it, when you kind of take a zoom back, it kind of takes a screenshot. I don't know what this is here, right? I don't know what this is, but this is what this webcam is viewing. It's probably nighttime over there. What time is it right now? What time is it in the Netherlands? It is 6:26 p.m. And because it's kind of like the winter, that's probably why we're getting a nighttime cam here. And this is from 1/27/2023. If you can see here, that says that from the screenshot. So this is real time. This is real time. And like I said, pant wetting. It's these devices are there. Here's another one that is coming from Atlanta in the United States. And it's showing something here. Don't know what that is. I don't know what this is. Do you all know what that is? Neither do I. Here's another YAWCAM. This is from Germany. I don't know how to pronounce that, but let's zoom in. This is from Harswinkel, Germany. And again, the same search results. This 200 OK, that's an HTTP designation, right? And it says, I don't know what that means. I'm not logging into it. I'm not going into it, but it says you're hacked. I don't know what that means, but this is real time. So it's using this particular product, and this is the screenshot that it takes from that website or that camera view, internet connected cameras. This is another one from ULS, United States. No idea. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what this is. People have webcams for so many different reasons. I have no idea what this is. Let's see some other screenshots. Let's try to find something that's actually interesting to look at. Okay. Again, I don't know what this is, but this is from, where is this from? Bremerton, United States. No idea. But Shodan is yielding this type of result. This looks like some type of project, something that they're monitoring over time, maybe, or I don't even know. They might be monitoring who's accessing this. Looks like some type of, I don't know, some tablet device, but then there's, I don't know. This is look kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie. This looks kind of weird. Be Friends with Ben says, this is great info. Hey, if you segment using VLANs behind a gateway, will Shodan still detect the device? If it is internet connected and if it's hosting to the internet, yeah, it'll still show if it gives that capability. So say, for instance, and when I say internet connected, let me tell you what people are probably doing. They probably have some type of application. I bet you this YAWCAM manufacturer, they have some type of applications on your phone or something. And what happens is that they are able to access the camera view from their phones. So they're probably looking at their phones and being able to see exactly what we're able to see. So even if it is segmented behind a VLAN, it can still be accessible by Shodan. Now, something that you can do is that you can restrict the capability for, or you can restrict it from device to device, right? So if you only allow these devices to speak to particular devices and not just broadcast over the internet, you can restrict Shodan from being able to pick these up. But the thing about IoT and the Internet of Things is that many of these devices, these web cameras, these smart cameras, and these smart thermostats and refrigerators, they don't come with the security in mind. So a lot of times you have to do this security kind of on the back end. You have to be able to configure your devices in order to restrict what and who has access to it. Absolutely. Your Wire Dog says good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, man. Washington. Okay, I guess that was in Washington. Bremerton is in Washington. Okay. Daniel says if the device is exposed to the public internet, for instance, there is a port there. There we go. Port forward to the device behind the firewall to access video monitoring. So you can put port forwarding on those devices. But that's what you have to do after, right? It doesn't come with these devices typically built in. You have to do port forwarding on whatever type of home network infrastructure, like whether it's a switch or a layer 3 switch or some type of smart router or modem. You'll have to put that port forwarding on your own devices in order for it to be able to limit Shodan's access to the internet. So very good point, Daniel. Very, very good point. Thank you. Thank you for that. But yeah, I don't know what this is. We'll probably look at one more and then we'll move on to a different category of things. Let's make this smaller. Okay, so this one is from Chiba, Japan. And this looks like this is monitoring some type of smart thermostat or something maybe, I don't know, just something that's gathering information and keeping track of it. I don't know. I can't read this particularly, but if I went to it, I might be able to see it. And one thing about it is that so one thing that you could do, right? So you go here, you click on the specific device. You make this a little bit smaller. Come on. Okay. Make this a little bit smaller. But you can also access the actual page, right? You can go to the actual page, and this is the actual page that is showing on. This shows, it actually doesn't jump over to that. Let me show you really quickly. And this did not require any logging in or anything. It's just there. Let me show you this. This is the actual page that it went over to. And it says it's a webcam, yadcam.com. So this might just be like a little dummy website that kind of shows it. But here you see the IP address and everything. I don't know if that's being shown, but the IP address on port 8888. So yeah, man, you can do a lot. You can do a lot with Shodan. Let me go back there. I want to show you something else interesting. Let me see if I can find a more interesting one. I don't know what this is, but this looks like this is in Schmallenberg, Germany. But it's actually a webcam, probably a street view of something. That looks like a shady character. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it's monitoring here, but maybe like a street or something of some sorts. And again, this is real time. This is 1/27/2023 at 6:54. So, and you're also seeing the time differences here. So this is what time it is over there in Germany at this time. Wire Dog says have to be careful on there as well. May see something you don't want to see. That's true. That's true. That's why I'm trying to kind of actually let me take a look at things before. I'm gonna take a look at a couple of things before, because you might see some people do some very interesting things and some very weird things too on the internet. So yeah, I'm gonna take a look at these before. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for the advice, Wire Dog, because anything could have popped up on Shodan. But let me just show you something regular, right? Let me show you something that's just regular. People, and this might be someone like you or me, right? Sometimes people, and this is Everett, United States. I don't know where that is exactly. One of you might know, but they're using this technology, and this looks like somebody's yard, doesn't it? This is just somebody's regular yard. So that's where it comes to. And I actually have a video that I'm releasing on the Internet of Things and cybersecurity, probably sometime on Tuesday or Wednesday. But that's why you have to be very careful about these Internet of Things devices that you buy. This person probably has no idea that we're able to access their home webcam. This is probably their home webcam, and it's showing their driveway. And it might just be just monitoring what's happening if someone's walking up to their home and whatnot. But this YawCam device, we're able to see it here, right? There's no login, nothing that we have to do in order to see these type of things. But That's why you have to be very careful and very prudent about the security that you implement in your own home, not just for the organizations that you work for, not just for the LastPass or the T-Mobile that got hacked or all these organizations, but even your personal cybersecurity needs to be really tight and put together. Washington again, Daniel says. I didn't know. I don't know where any of these are. And Wire Dog says you have to love it when people leave the default password on things. Absolutely. And there's let me show you even this. There's many GitHub repositories of just default logins to webcams. GitHub. I mean, there's just a plethora of lists of default password logins. Here, let me show you this. And all I did is just default password logins, GitHub. And it shows just like a plethora. Here, let me just show you here. Make myself smaller, make this larger. So if you're talking about, I mean, almost any type of Axis, I know Axis is a cameras one. So this is just a list here, just really quickly, a collection of some common word lists such as RDP password, username list, SSH password list for brute force. So when you talk about RDP, remote desktop protocol, that's very common with a lot of organizations. They utilize that. A lot of network administrators use it in order to log into their systems for monitoring and for updating. Username lists, having to set user password as the username and password to access a device. SSH, secure shell, is a secure way, right? It's encrypted communications, but they have word lists that you can utilize in order to get into those systems. And these are for IP cameras, default password directories, all of these things. So you really don't have to do a whole lot of work in order to find these type of default things. So for this type of brand, the default username and password is admin 123456 or admin or capital admin 123456. I've seen Axis. You don't understand how many penetration tests I've been on and red teams I've been on. Axis is probably one of the most common brands that are used. And again, traditionally root pass, right? Root pass. New Axis cameras require password creation during the first login, which is good. And that's probably why they have utilized, why they started to put this in. So this is a security control where before even accessing the camera or before even setting it up, it requires you to change the default username and password. That's actually a very good cybersecurity control against using default usernames and passwords like root and pass. But say, for instance, you have an Axis camera that has been in service for years and years and years and years. You probably won't have this security control in this feature here. So that's something to look out for. Daniel was getting in there. Daniel says, and sometimes there are default logins on devices that have admin access. Absolutely. WireDog comes through and says there are tons of bots on the internet that search for these things. Yes, absolutely. You can write a Python program or anything to do a web scraper to look for default usernames and passwords. And the thing about it too is that Shodan has an API. Oh, that makes it even more. That makes it even more so. So there is a way to write a program where you're accessing Shodan's API, and you can even look for usernames and passwords and automate that process of finding vulnerable devices that have default usernames and passwords. You can create a Excel spreadsheet, put all these default usernames and passwords and names of devices within a spreadsheet and be able to feed that into whatever that program is, access the Shodan API, and just be able to find vulnerable devices just like that, that you can log into and have full access to. WireDog says, I've even seen MongoDB data. Oh my gosh, MongoDB databases on there. A lot of ransomware. Yes, and a lot of that's very true. A lot of ransomware does spread by RDP and also through SMB, which is a Windows type of communication protocol called server message block. But as you see here, a whole bunch of these usernames and passwords. Bassler, the typical username and password is admin. But then you see things like this. Bosch, what do they have here? They don't have a username and password at all. So there's none. So if I had looked on Shodan, look for a Bosch. Man, I'm tempted. I am very tempted to look for Bosch webcams. Let me see if I can find BOSCH. Is that the name of it? BOSCH. BOSCH. And then I don't know, camera. I'm gonna put that in Shodan and see if that didn't pull up anything. You just put in Bosch by itself. That might pull up. Let's see. Bosch. Yeah, some things are coming up. Now I know Bosch is a popular manufacturer. I think they make like industrial devices as well. I'm seeing a couple of things. I'm not seeing any cameras. Not seeing anything that looks like a camera, but it could be. Very, very well could be. But again, they have no usernames and passwords for those type of devices. Cisco, So Cisco cameras, they don't have any default password, but it requires creation for the first login. So that's important. So there typically is something Canon, root camera, admin 1234, digital watchdog. I mean, just look at this, right? Pretty much, if you're making a word list to be able to find usernames and passwords, if you know the user, all you have to do is put admin. If you're looking at this admin, I put a word list of admin, probably make the first letter capitalized. Then I'll probably make root. What else would I put in that word list? These will all be just be admins and roots. Admin, admin. Some of these don't have any root. So typically admin and root, or hey, Ubiquity has Ubuntu, UBNT. So that's the thing. These many systems are very vulnerable, and the fact that they are connected to the internet makes them even more vulnerable to cybersecurity attacks, and really makes us to be. We need to be much more prudent with our cybersecurity hygiene for ourselves. Let's go back to Shodan and let's look at a couple of other things. We're going to drill down into a couple of other ones, and then again, throw your questions in the chat if you have any. This is me looking for the Bosch thing where I found a couple of things, but nothing crazy. Let's just go to explore, because let's say, for instance, you are very new to Shodan as a whole. Let's look at pricing. So, oh wow, price must have went up, because I remember it being maybe like $10-15 a month. Looks like it's $69 a month for a freelancer. Small business $359. But what happens is that also every single year, I think it's for Black Friday, they give away, Shodan gives away, oh, I'm not even showing that one. Here, let me show this one. Shodan gives away free accounts, or I guess reduced priced accounts every single year. So Black Friday, look out for that. So the freelancer account is that $69 a month. Small business $359 a month. Corporate is $1099. Wow. Prices have definitely went up for Shodan, because I got it maybe back, man, had to be 8-9 years ago. Maybe I've had a Shodan account, and it has been very, very, very good for a lot of my security research. Okay, we're gonna look at what does it look like if you're just starting off. If you're just starting off, say for instance you are looking for, these kind of help with a lot of these queries. So let's say you're looking for network infrastructure here. And it kind of gives you kind of a breakdown of some different network infrastructures and technologies that you might be able to find that are internet connected. So Citrix, I don't know if you all can see that. Citrix is a popular, as it says, Citrix, a virtual applications virtualization software produced by Citrix Systems that allows Windows applications to be accessed via individual devices from a shared server or cloud system. So let's just, like it says, explore Citrix. And there's some other ones that are very, very, very popular too. So you're looking at Citrix, right? So it gives you some of the results, about 81 results as a whole, 151 in the United States. And then we're just seeing some different Cisco applications here. These are like some different, maybe some different applications that are running on these Citrix instances. Some down in Miami. We've seen some desktop King. I'm not very familiar with all the applications that run under Citrix, but it looks like these probably give access, remote access to some of these desktop applications. We see King Ocean Adobe Reader. I mean, it's a lot going on here. Galaxy Excel Citrix Galaxy. This might be something like some type of Android type of applications or something for phones, desktop. So these are things to be very careful of. We're just gonna click on this one really quickly. And yeah, you have access to some very interesting ports here. 80 is typically web, right? HTTP 4443 is HTTPS. And it looks like for port 80, TCP port 80, it has this it's running Microsoft IIS HTTPD. So this is kind of giving you some information here on what it's actually running. It's actually running that securely as well, where you see the SSL certificate. So you got a lot going on here. So you probably would have some type of log in here if you're trying to get in. Let's go to the secure one. It looks like you can't even access that, which is great. You can't even access the 822. But you can access the port 81. Let's see. Yikes. Okay, so let me show you this really quickly. So when I clicked on the port 81, this is what actually happened. This is what happened here. It brought me to this one. It brought me here. It brought me here to this to install the Citrix XN app. So this is what you need. So you need an application, local application on your machine in order to access Citrix services. So this is what you don't want to happen. You want to restrict this from your entire, whatever you're running, especially if you're running any Citrix applications, you want to restrict that. So this is not good. I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to exit out of that because they shouldn't have that present. But let's go back to Shodan to show some more of what's going on here. Welcome, Lou. Welcome. Yeah, thanks for coming through. I'm sure everybody's just having like a nice little afternoon. So I wanted to kind of stream up to go over a couple of things. So that's kind of Shodan. Do you all have any questions? Do you have any questions, concerns? That's kind of if you're looking at different things for internet connected. I was kind of trying to just show you, hey, if you're looking for some different devices, some different assets. Let me see if I can find one more interesting one from that repository that we were looking at. Let me go to that one. So this is the repository of Shodan queries where we can find interesting web connected devices. We had looked at cameras. We looked at what some of those cameras were showing. They also have printers here. So if you're looking for printers, let's just see about this. And do they have any other printers? They have Xerox, they have HP. Let's look at HP printers. Let's see if we have some internet connected HP printers, which I'm almost sure there are here. Let's go back to Shodan. Did I exit out of that one? Let's see. Network infrastructure. Okay, that one. Okay, so we're going to go to the top here. We're going to just copy and paste that one. The serial number, blank built. This should return some results for HTTP or internet connected printers. And yeah, yikes. I don't know if y'all seeing this. Are y'all seeing this? Uh-oh. Let me go back. Are you all seeing this? 38,280 printers, right? The majority of them are coming out of Korea, United States, Germany, Spain, thousands upon thousands of internet connected printers. And they're typically connected over, and you can even drill down to the port, boom, right? When you're looking at ports, you're seeing all your web ports here. You're seeing 80, 443, 80. I'm not familiar with 63. Oh, 631 is a printer. What is TCP port 631? That is a printer service, I believe. I'm just searching that up really quickly. Yeah, Mac OS printer sharing, print sharing. So this is a printing protocol that's 631, TCP port 631, 81. So all of these are internet connected printers. And it might even show you screenshots of some of them. Say for instance that we're here, right? Going to port 8080. Let's see what that looks like. I'm not gonna pull that up until I see what it looks like. Sheesh. Yeah. Yikes. Okay, let me show you this really quickly. Daniel said IT was told to make it easy for users to download. Yeah, Yeah, that's crazy, Daniel, ain't it? Isn't that crazy? That was right there on that Citrix thing, right? No, I haven't talked about Flipper Zero yet. I know I got my own little Flipper Zero here. I was gonna go. I'm probably gonna go through like the initial setup process. I got it a while ago, so we're gonna go through it in a little bit, and I'm gonna go over some of the videos that people are showing for what people are doing online with them. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, we haven't went over it yet. Let me show you this just really quickly, and then we're going over the Flipper Zero. All right. Okay, so I don't know if you saw that port, that thing I just clicked, but this is what it's showing, man. This is literally, so this is access into somebody's internal printer. This is their printer. No login required. Given IP address, this is the internal. This is not proprietary because everybody has internal IP addresses. The SSID is I'm blessed. This might be somebody's printer at home. I'm about to get out of this. I'm about to get out of that. I don't know why anybody would throw their internet connected printer onto the network, because the thing about it is that printers by themselves aren't really vulnerable, or aren't really big security risks, or most people in organizations don't think, right? But a lot of times with printers, and again, I did a talk on this last year, is that if you're using an internet connected printer, and if somebody's able to hack that printer, they're able to gain a foothold into your internal network. And I've done this many times with an internal penetration test. I would first I go hunting for printers first. I look and scan for printers within people's internal networks. I find what they are, because printers, because they're internet connected, in many Windows or Microsoft environments, they use something called Active Directory. And Active Directory works to manage all of the different devices and assets within the network. So just like you're a person that's on your computer, and you sign into your website or sign into something that says, hey, one thing that I do is that I put my username and password in. So every time you put your username and password in, you authenticate to your domain controller or your login into your Active Directory environments. People don't think that printers do the exact same thing. Not only do you have a username and password, but printers, internet connected or internal network connected printers also have username and passwords. So if I'm able to hack your printer, I can gain a foothold into your network. I'm not going to go over to all the steps. Actually, I think I had a talk somewhere. Here, let me see. Because it is on YouTube, hacking printers, Gabe, or something. Or I think it's under my full name. Let me find that. Yep. Very easy. Here. I'm about to give y'all this. I did this like 3 different times. That's how I did this talk. Oh, no, I did it twice. Here, I'm going to take this and throw this into the chat. Let me take the time off. Let me just do the share. And again, it's on hacking printers. And I even go into the details about what you can do after you've hacked the printer, because you can go from hacking a printer into having the domain admin's account if you use certain tools and know what you're doing. So that was my talk. I think I did that just last year for an organization called Sans. Let me get up out of their printer. Miss whoever that is, they named it I'm blessed. That's definitely somebody's personal. Oh my gosh, let me get up out of here. That's definitely somebody's personal printer, and that they out here vulnerable. What's good, there first? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, dead. I'm dying after seeing that. I'm done. Because I remember years ago seeing bad guys hack printers over the internet. They printed out a bunch of trove stuff. You can print out stuff too. And another thing about printers is that a lot of times they save past print jobs within the memory of the printers. So let me tell you the danger about that. Have you ever been home? You just printed out a social security card number or some type of tax documentation that might have your social security number on it, or personal financial information, or birth certificates. I could possibly hack that printer in order to access that information that's stored within the printer, your past print jobs. So you can be leaking information without even knowing it by just having your home printer connected to the internet. Your home printer connected to the internet. Yeah. And you can also do troll stuff, like you said, printing out things. But it's a big vulnerability. I remember one time I hacked a plant. This is for work, and I was given permission. I hacked the plant, and I was able to see plans for electrical device installations that were upcoming because they left that print job stored within that printer. So one thing that you do want to do is that you want to clear the cache of that printer. If you have a home printer, clear the cache of it, clear it. Yo, you said, yo, you got one. That's a real flex. Yeah, man. Listen, there's so much that you can do. Hacking it's almost elementary at this point. It's almost elementary. It's a lot less that you have to know than you did years ago. It's very easy. Some printers also have HDDs, which can contain files with PI. Yeah, boom. WireDog. See, I didn't even see that. See, listen. Great minds think alike. All right, great minds think alike, and that's very true. They can store a lot of that information locally within their machines. What's up, Brett? Brett? Thank you for coming through, and welcome to the chat. We are talking hacking and all of the above. Right now, we're about to get into this Flipper Zero thing, where I do want to show you all a couple of different things about it. But that was Shodan. If you all have any questions or concerns about it, we just caught a digital body really quickly. We saw somebody that, listen, I could have, if I was a bad guy, I could have went ham. Just probably would have taken me 10 or 15 minutes, about 10 or 15 minutes in order to completely compromise whatever they had going on in their environment. But listen, we're ethical here. These are for research purposes. This is for education, but Shodan is a very good tool. And that's something that you can go through, something that you can even put on your resume if you're looking for jobs and things like cybersecurity intel or security intel roles, or even just things like penetration testing or just overall security research roles. Shodan is a big tool that many of us professionals use. So now we are getting into the next thing. So we were Shodaning. Now we're looking at the Flipper Zero. So doing like a little bit of a little unboxing thing here, right? This is the box that it came in, and it's called Flipper Zero. And it's kind of like a commodity or a commercial version of a little hacking tool. And it uses the little, oh my gosh, you probably can't even see it. It uses the little dolphin icon in order for you to go through the prompts in order to set it up. I think the first thing that you have to do is that you have to update the firmware. First of all, thank you for your support. Kickstarter campaign is insane. So it kind of takes you through a little prompt here. Now allow me to introduce myself. I'm Flyon, Phyon, Flyon, Cyber Dolphin living in your pocket. I can grow smart and cool if you use me often. As long as you read, write, and emulate, you can check my level and move. So it's like a Tamagotchi or something. Like you kind of training it to get better. Okay, now it's quiet. Okay, whoa. Oh, wait. What happened? It wants me to read. Okay, I think it's doing some type of, it's scanning. Yo, am I being hacked? Is this thing hacking me? It says scanning. What is it scanning for? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. What is this scan? Why is this thing scanning me? What's it scanning? So one thing that the Flipper Zero does use, it uses like radio frequencies in order. So one thing that people use it a lot for is like denial of service attacks. So it'll jam radio frequencies if you put it on the right channels. I think it's scanning for the time. It's tripping though. I don't know what it's doing. Okay, you can back out of it. Looks like frequency analyzer. Oh, okay. So one thing I'm seeing here is that it has a lot of different. Okay, it has a lot of different little prompts. Here it has a read. Can you all see that? Read raw, I think. Saved, add manually, frequency analyzer, and I think that those are the ones, right? So the frequency analyzer, I'm gonna click on that and see what that does. You all can do this with me. So I don't know what this is doing, right? I don't know what frequency it's analyzing because I never use it. So I'm gonna click it and see what it's trying to analyze. Something that might give a frequency. Let me see if I have something around here. So maybe I put it close to my phone. I don't know. Is it analyzing something? I don't know. That's not doing anything. How do you make this work? Listen, Struggle security. All right. When we're struggling, normalizing struggling in cybersecurity, I don't know what this is doing. So this is the frequency analyzer. I'm gonna go back out because it has a little back out button here because I don't know what that is doing. So I'll go back out. You can. So the thing about this is that there are a whole bunch of like GitHub accounts and GitHub devices or GitHub repositories that you can download things onto this device in order for you to use it. So right now it has it in sleep mode because I don't know what to do with it. So I'm just gonna put it in sleep mode really quickly. I'm gonna put it in sleep mode really quickly. Let's see. Wire Dog says laugh all exactly. I don't know what I'm doing. Cool Kamasi, welcome. Thank you for coming through to the chat. Thank you for coming through. You say it look like an MP3 player. It does. It definitely does. You said try turning it off and back on again. I'll try that. You know what's funny? I don't even know. I don't see the off button. Let's see. I don't see the off button. It's fully charged. I don't see the on. I don't see an on and off button. Set pin? No, I'm not trying to do that. Listen. Okay. As I'm kind of dealing with this, and I might do another stream where I'm doing more with it because right now I don't know what to do. I could. They do have this user guide that I can look at. Oh, okay. There's a SSD card slot at the bottom. SD card slot at the bottom. Micro SSD. Flipper supports 250 gigs and 16 gigs. I'm reading as we're talking. You can format the micro SD card automatically with Flip. So you can put some memory on here, and you can format it, and you can choose exFAT or FAT32 file system. Okay, that's cool. Tell me how to turn it on. So the on button is here. On button is this little back button here. That's cool. I did charge it. That was one thing. Oh, okay. It says to update the firmware, connect your device to your computer USB cable, and then go to update Flipper 01. Let me do that. So I'm gonna take this. I got a Mac, so mainly all I have are USB-Cs. So I got this little connector here. I got my little bag of connectors and all different types of things in order to make sure I have connections. Okay. So maybe I'll just do that with you. So I'm gonna take this device. I'm gonna hook this into my computer. Okay, it's hooked in, and when it hooks into your computer, it kind of goes green here. There's a little green little button here. I guess it's showing that it's charging. And then it says go to, and we're gonna do this thing together. It says go to update.flipper flipper 0.1. That's what we're going to. And I can show that on my screen. Presents. Again, I've never done this before, so if I'm messing up, I don't care. I don't care if I'm messing up. Because we're struggling together. And if you all have any suggestions or if you all have done this before, let me know. So right now, okay, so Flipper 0 firmware update. Says desktop application for updating Flipper 0. Okay, that's cool. It says download Flipper Q, update via mobile. Okay, so they have so not only do they have something that you can here. Let me download this really quickly. Let me say that to my desktop. You can't see that, but I can. We're gonna go through this just quickly. So really quickly. So it looks like it has a mobile app to it. And I think I'll probably get the mobile app afterwards. Okay. So right now I'm just gonna drag. Let me just show my screen. Stop screen sharing. Share screen. Entire screen. Let me share screen 1 with you. Screen 1. Okay, cool. So it wants you to drag into the applications folder and install. Okay, so it installs, open, yeah, whatever. Okay, yo, let's go. We got action. So it's connected as you see here. Let me show you. My Flipper 0 is connected. It's telling me to connect. Okay. It says waiting for device. What I'm supposed to do once it's dating firmware. 1 second. USB cable. It is connected. It's important to install the latest firmware. Unsupport. What? Hold up. Device cannot be recognized. Disconnect other similar devices from your computer. Reconnect your flipper. If the problem persists, reboot. This connected directly to my machine. So let me unplug and replug. And let me go back and see if it's finding it now. Because right now I sleep. Say that it's sleep. Say that it's sleep. Waiting for devices. It's trying to connect to it. Logs. Mac OS, RPC. I was using RPC to establish the session. So right now it's still doing that. System proof. No, it still didn't find it. That is interesting. Maybe I should turn it off and turn it back on. How y'all doing? Y'all have any suggestions? Let me turn it off and turn it back on. Like Wired Dog had told me. But how do I turn it off? I think I just hold this button to turn it off. I'm holding. I think that's what it said. Because it's not finding it. Power on. You hold it for 3 seconds to turn it on. I think you hold it for 3 seconds to turn it off. Okay. I'm trying to update it, Lou. I'm trying to update it. Trying to update it to see if we can get into today. He says, I saw something called bad USB that forced unlock a phone PIN code. We could try something like that. Let's see. I'm trying to turn this thing off so I can turn it back on. A lot of times, computer systems are like that. You turn it off, you turn it back on, and that fixes the problem. But it's not allowing me to. Not right now, at least. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It has a reboot function. See, listen. This is why reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental because look, it says to reboot. Can you all see that? To reboot, I hold that side and I hold that button. So listen, we have to read out here. We have to start reading in tech. Okay. It's not all about tech, or it's not all about doing the technical thing. You got to see now it rebooted, right? So now it's coming back on. Oh, did it reboot already? Let me see. Okay, I rebooted it and now it's coming right back on. Now let me see if that works. Yeah, that'd be cool to brute force a unlock PIN code. I would do it on my own stuff, but see, listen, Wired Dog said reboot is left arrow and back. See, listen, this is why it's important to read. Okay. Look like it might have found me. Let's see. Did it find me? It says waiting for devices. Waiting for devices. Let's close this log. So it looks like it's starting to try to find it. RPC session started successfully. System proto buff. What does that say? It says unsupported. It says that it's unsupported. I'm literally connected directly. Maybe because I'm coming in through. I'm coming in through US. I don't think that should be an issue for not finding it. That port should not. I shouldn't have an issue with this port. Let me try it again. Let me reboot. You know, you just let me just read a little bit more. Let me read a little bit more. Let me go back. And then if this doesn't work, we're just gonna we are going to, you may encounter freezes, especially while the firmware is in beta when using a dev version. If Flipper Zero stops responding, please reboot your device for GPTO. Okay. Wish you could just turn it off altogether. Turn it off altogether. That'd be dope. Okay. Turned it off. It's coming back on. So it looks like it rebooted. Yeah, man. I'm looking at the documentation for sure. I'm trying to look at the documentation because it's not recognizing it. It's not as my device. I might have to do a little bit of troubleshooting on the back here. Welcome, Professor Blackout. Shout out to Gabe with the struggle lights. What's good? What's good? We're working with our Flipper Zero today, right? I'm showing what it is. I'm trying to update it. This is like kind of like my little unboxing and whatnot. So this is the first time me pulling out. I done had this thing for maybe about 4 or 5 months, probably more than that, because I had contributed to the Kickstarter like years ago, like 2020, probably. So it had just come last year in 2022, and I got 2. I gave one to my coworker, but yeah, let me try a different USB port. I'm gonna have to unplug some stuff, so something might go away, but it'll probably be back. I'm gonna try a different USB port now. Let's try that. Something might. Uh-oh, am I back? We should be back. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Okay, I think you all can hear me now, probably. Okay. I'm gonna use a different USB port. I think I should be back. Yeah, I'm gonna try a different USB port. That's why everything had went out for a second, because I switched it over. Welcome, Wayne. Everybody just saying hello. Okay, Professor Backups. Okay, everybody can hear me. Okay, now we're gonna let me share my screen again. Let me share this. I'm just gonna share that entire screen as we're trying to update this thing, because that's the thing. When you first pull it out of the box, you have to update the firmware. So I'm taking it. Let me reboot it again, just to make sure. Okay, I rebooted it. Now I'm gonna plug it into the ports. Uh-oh, did it start? It says waiting for devices. When I'm looking at the logs, it says the starting the RPC session. It's trying. It is trying. It's trying. I feel like we're gonna run into the same issue, but it's trying. Yeah, it says disconnect all similar devices, reconnect your flipper. If the problem persists, reboot the flipper and recover. Oh, recovery mode. Recovery mode. How you do that? How do you reboot in recovery mode? Let's see. I'm on a website right now. Reboot. No, okay, there's 2 different ways. You can reboot in normal mode. Listen. This is what we do. All right. This is what we do. I'm gonna bring this one over. So there are several different ways to reboot. So there's a normal mode reboot. Okay. And it's showing you right there with a little GIF. And then there's a recovery mode. Okay. Let's do the recovery mode one. Tell me if I'm doing it right, y'all. Tell me if I'm doing it right now. Let me unplug it first. You says press the left back. Okay. And at the same time as you do normally, release the left one. Okay. Okay, look, check it out. It says update in recovery mode. Okay, after that, you will see a message on the screen. Rebuild the firmware according to what? Wait, what did I do? What did I do? Now do I replug it in? Rebuild your firmware according to the recovery. Yo, this is wild. Okay, so now we're noticing a couple of different things here, right? It's not the easiest thing or not the quickest thing to do. It's corrupted device built in GPU. The bootloader can change. Then the firmware recovery message suitable. If firmware is corrupted, there is no image on the screen. It is not. Okay, we don't need to do that. Okay. Okay, we're doing that. How to check the connection for Mac OS. Okay, let's plug it in and see if it happens. Let's plug it in and see if we're okay. Check it out. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Not see, listen. This is why reading is fundamental. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So now I just plugged my Flipper Zero back in. And now it is recognizing it, and it's asking if it wants to repair. So I think I'm just going to repair it. Okay, firmware release. So I have a very old version of the firmware. And I'm just going to put repair. It's fetching the application. We're looking at the logs here. Recovery mode, deleting old co-processor firmware. Because this is, so again, like I said, I had this for probably more than a year. So they probably come up with several different versions of firmware since then. So yeah, so look, listen, we rocking. It says upgrading co-processor firmware. Please wait. So it's going. Okay, so as it's doing that, I do want to show you all a couple of different things. I do want to show you all what people are doing with it. I don't want to just bore you with me trying to struggle through getting this thing together. Let's go ahead and look at what others have been doing with Flipper Zeros. And we'll come back to that process because it looks like it's taking a minute. It's flashing the firmware right now. So let me show you a couple of different things. So people have been going crazy with this, with this. Let me go, let's see. Let me get the right one. So there's a website that I like, or a YouTube channel, and they're doing all types of things with Flipper Zero. And let me share that with you. This this YouTube channel here. Let me make this larger, make me smaller. Maybe on the side. Let me do that. It's called Flipper Zero Videos. Here, let me throw that in the chat for you. Flipper Zero Videos. Okay, boom. You said we back. Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, okay, thanks for being everybody saying, what's that? Add chat GPT. No, we're gonna struggle through this thing together. We're gonna struggle security. We're gonna struggle together. That's what we're gonna do. Yep. Okay. Now let's get to this. So this website, it kind of shows what people have been doing with Flipper Zero. And it's kind of cool. I've been looking at a couple of things here where a lot of people just kind of look at it as just for the hacks and everything. But I've even seen some pretty cool things. And I think this one was one that I thought was pretty cool. I want to go to the 1 minute mark. And I'm going to tell you the coolness of that. Let me maximize this. Let me go on the side. Let me make myself smaller. Okay, that'll work. Tell me what you think. Not this one, but the next one.
With the Flipper Zero, you can read animals' RFID tags. The radio microchip implants are usually located at the animal's back of the neck. Lay Flipper closely to the animal radio tag to scan their ID. You can use this ID to find the animal owner in case it is lost. Enter animal ID into your local vet database website to see the owner's contact information.
Okay, isn't that lit? That's really cool. So again, this Flipper is still doing this thing. Looks like it's still doing this thing. It can be used to scan the RFID chips inside of animals in order to find lost animals, right? So you're not just hacking everything, you're not just disrupting everything, but you can also use it for good purposes and a good cause. There's a website where you can put in that RFID number, that chip number. You can find that animal. You can find out information about the animal. I think that's a really cool little usage for that. Let's look at some more.
I got good news, everybody. You got a robot dog coming at you. Let's hit that motherfucker with a flipper.
So robot dog. He said he hit it with a flipper.
Let's hit that motherfucker with a flipper. Dog coming at you. Hit that motherfucker with a flipper.
Okay, so like I was saying before, one thing that it does is that it jams signals, right? So it uses RFID and other wireless technologies in order to jam signals so that this device's robot is probably talking to something, right? So what this Flipper Zero is doing, it can jam signals in order to stop that communication. And that thing probably, typically when things fail, it fails to the point it doesn't function anymore. It wouldn't just like, I don't know, start attacking people. That dog probably would start attacking people. So it just failed because the communication mechanism was being jammed. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It's so cute.
I don't know what that was. So it's reading. Wait, what? Wait a bank. What? Boy, I'm not completely following everything he just did, but it looked like he was able to access some sensitive information from something he had on his hand or some type of chip he had inside of him. That's pretty wild. Uh-oh. We at the casino. Okay. Maybe not the casino. This might be a restaurant. Like, you know those things that buzz when your food order is ready? I think that's what it is. I'm sorry. I thought those were like chips, like casino chips. Yo. My God. Look at that. Look at that.
Then we're going to ask our friend to wake up. And we're going to go down to GPIO. And we're going to do some tests. Manual control is what we're going to be using. And we're going to be using manual control on the 1.7, which is the PC one.
Okay. I don't know what he's doing, but okay.
And notice when we press the button, we find out that this LED is a green LED. This one is a red LED. This one is blue.
Okay, that's pretty cool, right? Because they can test out the functionality or the types of LEDs that they're running, the light emitting diodes, the electrical component. I guess if you like an electrician, or you might be, I don't know, just trying to test out to see what color these things light up in. You could test them out with this, okay?
Blue. And this one is amber colored. It's really kind of an orange, although it kind of looks a little red on camera.
Okay, and that's pretty cool because as you see, he's plugging into some ports at the top. Here, let me make myself larger here. He's plugging into some little ports at the top, and it has these pins, as you can see. Hopefully you can see that. It has these pins. So these are what he's plugging into here. And it has certain amperage. I see a ground, and it has different types of pins. I see TX and RX, so transfer and receive, transfer and receive. That's has some pretty cool little pins. I don't know what everything means on them, but that's what he's plugging into there with those LEDs, as you can see. Let's go here.
So that's how Flipper helped us out figuring out the color of our LEDs. Sleep well.
Flipper Zero versus restaurant. See, you can't get nobody. Listen, you can't get nobody nothing. All right, they're in a nice little restaurant, little establishment. He up here. Why does he have to do that? Why you got to ruin everybody's night? It's a nice establishment. They having a good time. Why you got to? All right, let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. It said Rickroll. Rickroll. I don't know if you remember Rickroll. That was, we used to do that a lot in college. We used to Rickroll people. It's that. So like, it's like when people are doing something, the Rickroll would be a disruptor to whatever they was doing. And you know that you got pwned, you know, all those words were used back then, or owned, or whatever stupid stuff. I don't know what he just did, but it's cool. Games, Doom. Oh wow, you can play little games on it too. Okay. Listen, I might download that. I might download Doom. Listen. Uh-oh. Got an enemy there.
I can literally control the world.
All right, don't get carried away. All right, don't get carried away, buddy. All right, just because you can turn the light on and off with this thing, don't mean you can control the world. Calm down, okay? Calm down. You're turning the light on and off. Slow down. People kind of going crazy with it too. I've been seeing some of those videos. They're like, "Oh, yo, this is just like cyberpunk in real life." You slow down, okay? Slow down. All you doing is clicking. All you doing is clicking around. All you doing is clicking. Slow down. It's good, but you know. Let's see. Sizzler said you can clone the key. Yes, I've seen that one too. You can clone key card RFIDs and get in buildings. Wire dog. Yes. Hilarious. Never gonna give you up. Yeah. That's it with the Rick rolls. Those Rick rolls. Yeah, man. Sometimes I remember at work, if you left your computer unlocked, people would like just change your screen background to like a Rickroll GIF. They'll have it playing continually. They'll like write a little batch script to like play it continually on your computer to just say that you got on. We used to do it in college all the time. We used to just like, we used to do other stuff in college too. It was just hilarious. But yeah, man. But yeah, this guy getting a little bit carried away here. A little bit carried away. Okay. But let's go back to it. It's almost over.
Now somebody, anybody, everybody scream.
There's squirrels in my pants.
That girl's got some serious squirrels in her pants.
Oh my gosh. Did you see that? That looks like maybe some banking type of system let me see what he hooked up to it in. How did he? I guess it had a USB-C port that somehow was just hanging out. I don't know how or why. But he hooked the Flipper Zero up into it. And then boom, they were able to get, so like typically tablet or these type of public tablet type of devices, they typically come like a stripped down version. So you're typically not able to access the full operating system of that device. So it looks like this person plugged into that tablet, and then as a result, they were able to get access to like the full operating
There's
system.
squirrels in my pants.
Yeah,
That girl's got some serious squirrels in her.
So it looks like I don't know what this is, this tablet application is, but this is like more the full application or the full operating system of that device. As you see here, like you see the control panel, you see maintenance, Moxie, normal mode. So yeah, they were gaining access to the full operating system of that device. Yeah. What Lou said sounds like cyberpunkish to me. Absolutely. Well, it is cyberpunkish, but you know, he's saying you can control the world. That's what that previous person said. They gotta calm down. Yeah, I know it's crazy.
Pants.
There's squirrels in my pants.
Tell me what's making you jump like that.
Volte smartphone. That's pas. I don't know that language. Maybe French. Maybe. Yeah. They in there.
These squirrels in my pants. Ain't got no.
They said it's in Ohio, so I don't know.
Chicken take got no rat.
It might be a French manufacturer.
SIMP squirrels in my pants.
Okay. Well, that's that. That's that. So that's kind of a couple of things that I wanted to go over. Things with Flipper Zero. It's a lot more content on YouTube on it. But let's go back. Let's see how I'm doing. Let's see how I'm doing with my own Flipper Zero. Let me see what happened here. If I'm able to pull up. Let me pull this thing up here. Let me share. So I got it in my hand. And it's saying that it's cool. This is the little application I downloaded. As I'm looking back at my logs, it's saying, okay, full repair. It was a success, okay? GUI start visually success. Start at, okay, so now it's telling me to continue. Okay. Okay, we cooking now. We cooking with some grease now. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and continue that process. I just think in my hand, I'm looking at it. It got the dolphin sitting here, chilling. Oh, got the dolphin sitting here chilling, eating some popcorn. So SD card. I don't have a. Do I have an SD card here somewhere? I probably do, but I don't think I need one. I don't know if I need one. So it's just saying it's cool. Okay. So the firmware date is up to the most recent one from January 7th. So yeah, it looks like I'm ready to start downloading stuff, right? It looks like I'm ready to start downloading things and putting them on this device. So it was repaired, it was able to work, and it looks like I have access to it comes. Oh, it doesn't come with any pre-built applications. It doesn't come with anything pre-built. I'll probably okay, Lou. This is the one that you were talking about. Let me see if I can. Okay, we done with that. Let me just go back to me. I don't know if this is the one that you were talking about. It's called the bad USB. I'm gonna click this one. It says connection is active. Disconnect from PC or phone to use this function. So it's active. So I'm connected to my machine right now, and all you do is click on it and click bad USB. So now disconnected. Okay, connection is active. Okay, disconnect from your PC or phone to use this function. Okay, now I'm pressing bad USB. It says empty. Okay, how about this? Next time, we're going to go over the one that Lou was talking about, the bad USB module. I don't know how to use it right now because all it's telling me is that it's empty when I go into that. I don't think that you can be connected to anything when you're using it initially. But yeah, I'm gonna check that one out. So well, let me see if I can try it out one more time. So I'm on bad USB. I'm connected. Bad USB. Let me see. Since connection is active, disconnect from PC or phone to use this function. I think you have to disconnect. I think you have to connect to it. I'm gonna go over a couple of tutorials for it. And then we're gonna try it out. Like I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna see if it worked. Okay, I'm gonna see if it worked. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to throw them in the chat. If you got any questions you all want me to address, I'm not gonna open up a panel for this one. We'll probably do it for the next one because I just want to do a quick one. Quick, it's about an hour and a half now. But if you guys have any cybersecurity questions, career questions, anything about anything that we talked about today with the Flipper Zero, if you all want me to go over a couple, yeah, Luke, feel free to send me the TikTok for it because they got I'm telling you, they got all types of tutorials online for these devices where we can really get into some fun stuff. I can probably set up a couple of projects and things and show you all how effective it is, and I might even be able to use it at work. I think I need an SD card, a micro SD card, in order to use it because it's asking that for every single module that I'm seeing. I know I got one somewhere. I know I got me a micro SD somewhere. I got everything else. So, but you guys got any questions? Anything before I sign out? Let's see. And my wife is wild. She up here watching me on YouTube on her computer. And she's gonna send me the video of it. That's crazy. TC, thank you for the information. Absolutely, and we'll get more into it. So probably for the next one, we might do some chat GPT stuff. We might do some stuff with the Flipper Zero. I want to set up a couple of projects for you all, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, we'll definitely go from there. Thank you for coming through to Struggle Security, where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. Until next time, I want you all to come back for the next live stream and the next video. I'll be dropping a video again, like I mentioned, next week. Where I'm going to get into some stuff about Flipper Zero, but more in the context of IoT or the Internet of Things and the security vulnerabilities and everything associated. So, all right, until next time, I will see you all later. All right, then, peace out.